I have shared many times how astrology has been impactful for me, and I would go so far to say has changed my life. Understanding my rising sign, understanding all my signs, like getting to know the fact that I actually have a lot of water in my birth chart. I always thought that because I'm a Sagittarius sun and I have 5 planets in Sagittarius. So that is a lot of Sagittarius, it's a lot of fire, don't get me wrong. But my rising sign is a water sign. My north node or my south node, excuse me, is in Scorpio, along with 2 other planets and an asteroid. My 10th house is ruled by Pisces, which is water. So understanding all of these things about my birth chart have really opened my eyes to a lot about my personality that I sort of wasn't putting together before, and about relationships and how I relate to people in my life. And one of the things I love about astrology is how you can use your astrology to help you set intentions for the year ahead. And one of those ways is to look at your progressed moon sign. We know that you were born magical. We know that you are intuitive, and we know that you are brimming with everyday enchantment. Here at the Sisters Enchanted, we believe in intention, we believe in intuition, and we believe in everyday magic. Welcome in to the Expedition to Soul podcast. Today, we are talking about creating intentions around your moon sign, but specifically today around your progressed moon sign. Now, I have to qualify this and tell y'all that Team TSC, Team Sisters Enchanted, we are loaded with amazing astrologers on our team. So I learned everything I know about astrology from them. And if you're not in our holistic witchery program, get yourself in there because it includes our astrology fundamentals class. And I will say that learning astrology has done so much for me. We had this discussion about the tool that if our team, if we had to pick a tool that was transformative, some people on the team chose tarot, which was actually my introduction to all of the things that we teach here at Sisters Enchanted way back when, 20 some odd years ago. And interestingly, though, astrology is the thing that if I had to pick the tool that I did not let go of, astrology would be it. Now, when we use astrology to know ourselves, this can help us to set intentions and goals. Some examples of this. For me in my birth chart, I mentioned that I have a Sagittarius stellium. So I've got loads of planetary energy in Sagittarius. My sun is there, my Venus is there, my Mercury is there, Saturn, Uranus, all in Sagittarius. And it's in my 6th house of service. This is also where, with Sagittarius in that house, you might see burnout, health issues, really, grinding and going until you are completely fried, which I have experienced in my life. And so, knowing that about myself, when I set my goals and intentions for the next year as we embark on Yule, the winter solstice, the new calendar year, thinking about what's everything I want to do next year, I can use that information to help me remember that I am prone to really spreading myself thin. I'm very prone to taking on a lot of things and wanting to check all the boxes and wanting to do all of the things for everybody. Like I want to do everything I can for the community at the Sisters Enchanted. At the same time, I want to do everything that my children are desiring to do, and my grandparents who I help care for, and my husband, and myself, and everybody in my life. I want to look at like what's everybody's needs and how can I help be of service to their needs in the next year? How can I schedule it all in? And so I can be mindful of that when I'm setting my goals and my intentions, picking a word for the year, how I want to feel. Another thing we can look at is our rising sign. That's how you see the world. It is how you view the world around you, how you move through the world, which can also help you understand that same information. And then there's your moon, which is your shadow self, your inner self. And I think that we have a tendency as people to set goals based on what we think will make us a better person or make us better, air quotes. So we'll set a goal to lose weight or save a certain amount of money or buy a bigger house or, I don't know, redo something or other that we think will make us be better, look better, be worthy and valuable. And so we want to look at our moon sign when we're setting goals and intentions. So, intentions, how we teach them here, it's how you want to feel. Lunar intentions, how do you want to feel? And solar goals, what are you going to do to feel that way? Looking at your moon can help you to understand what you're chasing and why. Like, what is the why attached to the thing you say you're going to do? And does it actually matter to you, or is this a shadow thing that's coming up for you and you are trying to prove yourself or just get it done in some way? So, how does that look for you? And you have your moon sign, where the moon was when you were born, to help you find that information. Now, I'm an Aquarius moon, so I want to be really mindful of grandiose ideas. Grandiose plot lines that I'm creating in my life that nobody else is on board with or can understand, or, I'm just deciding something for the good of everybody. I want to be mindful of that. Now, one thing that is lesser talked about is the progressed moon signs. Now, progressions in astrology take into account adjustments in the sky over time, as a really pared down way of saying that. But if you were essentially to adjust, kind of like think about like money and how a dollar was worth something different in like 1949 than it is today, right? So the placements, planetary placements, shift slightly over time, and your same birth chart, but through today's shifts, so to speak, would create these progressions. You can find your progressed moon sign. If you just Google progressed moon sign calculator, you'll find a website. I love the site. It is Astro Seek is the site that we use frequently here for things like this at the Sisters Enchanted. It's just a free website. But you can Google progressed moon calculator, put in your date, time, location of birth, all that good stuff, and it will tell you your progressed moon. Now, we can look at the progressed moon because it moves pretty quickly. So, about every 2.5 years or so, the progressed moon sign changes. And if you think of an animal that sheds their skin, or you think of like transformations, or, if your moon sign is I don't know, your moon's the ice cream, then the progressed moon would be the different flavors. So you always have it there. Like I'm always an Aquarius moon that never goes away. However, my progressed moon right now is a Gemini progressed moon. And so that's slightly flavoring my moon. It is impacting how I am emotionally right now. And again, this lasts like every about 2.5 years. So for me, I am going to be a Gemini progressed moon for all of 2024. Started in 2023, will end in 2025 for me, or started in 2022, will end in 2025. So I will have this Gemini energy with my moon, my progressed moon in Gemini. And so when I'm setting my goals and intentions for the next year, I can start to question myself, like what emotionally might I need this next year? What might I want to experience? And I can understand Gemini. Gemini is very chatty, it's social, it wants to get all the information. Gemini thinks very quickly. It's an air sign. My moon's naturally an air sign. So that's a pretty comfortable energy for me to be in. Not a lot of resistance there. That's something to take into consideration. If my Aquarius moon, which is an air sign, if my progressed moon was in an earth sign or fire or water, I might have some different resistances emotionally there. But right now it's going to be, and my progressed moon is Gemini, which is also air. So that feels pretty comfortable to me, right? Not a lot of emotional resistance there. But I might be more attracted to making new friends and social situations in this next year in 2024. I might really thrive on environments and situations that help me to think in a different way, really deepen my perspective on something. That mind stimulation. Now is not the time for me to zone out emotionally. I'm going to want to feel fulfilled by the conversations that I have, the people that I'm surrounded with. And so I want to think about that in 2024. So if I set my intention for the year 2024 to be, more alone time, or more, if that was my goal to have more alone time, or my intention was to feel uh, I don't know, feel cozy in my home. And so I really wanted to work on that or something. But considering my emotional needs for the next year through the lens of that progressed moon, now there's all sorts of stuff going on in astrology. So this is not the be all end all, but it's one factor. I can take that into consideration and say, well, emotionally, I might actually not want to stay home a lot. I might actually want to be a social butterfly. I might actually, really want to get out of my comfort zone, talk to people, learn new things, maybe join a new community or a new adventure, something like that, where I'm going to meet new people, like minded people who can support me on my journey as I get to know them and learn more and, grow my mind, grow my beautiful brain. So, knowing your progressed moon can help you. It's just a tool. It's not a be all end all. It's not perfect. That's the thing about astrology. Everything has a shadow and a light to it, and you have free will to stand in the shadow or the light. But it's another tool to help me think about the goals that I'm setting, the intentions, the way I want to feel. Where is this coming from? How am I setting myself up for success? How am I setting myself up for failure right away? What can I know about myself as I embark on this next year? And to help us really choose more aligned actions in our life based on these tools we have at our disposal. Now, in shadow, Gemini is really that like gossipy sort of energy. Could be gossipy, could flip from one thing to another, which I already have a tendency to do in my life. So that's important for me to be aware of going into this next year emotionally. If I'm setting goals or putting projects on the calendar and I sense that I might want to avoid them, or that they might feel really hard, or I'm putting myself in situations where I might feel like uh, I am wanting to talk about things, it's possible that I maybe rethink those plans, because in that shadow side, we do have that energy of Gemini as well. So, all again, a tool for you to consider as you're setting your goals and your intentions for the next year. Now, we do have in Holistic Witchery our astrology fundamentals class, which will help you learn more about all of the zodiac signs and different placements in your birth chart. So, if you're not in Holistic Witchery, reach out if you want information. It's a great time to join, because then you are going to be in for when we do a special Conjuring Abundance program in January, which is part of the class, and astrology fundamentals, which will be taught in February. And then we teach the core Holistic Witchery program again starting in April. If you never lose access to it, so you can join in and then you'll have the materials. Let us know and we'll get you in there and you can dive in right away. Even you don't have to wait. You have everything right away. And we can also support you in our membership community next year if that's something that you're looking for, trying to find that community. If, like me, you've got some Gemini energy bubbling about and you're looking for a place to land, let us know. We can get you information on that. So, the highlight here of this conversation, your birth chart can give you some insight around the goals and intentions you are setting and why you're setting them. Where is it coming from? Where's the desire coming from? And is it truly aligned with where you want to be? Or is it kind of a story you're telling yourself? And your progressed moon can help you further identify how you are emotionally right now, how you will be next year emotionally, and what you can go ahead and prepare yourself for. And again, if you just Google progressed moon sign calculator, that's progressed moon sign calculator. I love the one that comes up with the website Astro Seek, and you just put in all your information. It'll give it to you. Bing, bang, boom. Super easy. and you'll be good to go. Okay. Well, if you are in our community group and you want to share in the comments, we always make a post for the podcast and let us know if you looked up yours, what your sign was, and if you had any like light bulb thoughts around that. We would love to cheer you on and just reflect back to you what you're sharing with us. It's one of our favorite things to do. So come find the post and share. And yeah, so happy planning for the next year. That's my favorite thing to do is plan for the next year. I've already got my sights on every trip we're taking, all of my calls next year, my teaching calls, all those rocks. That's what I don't know where that term came from. I did not create it, but all those things that have to be done are immovable, the trips, the calls, get them on and then let everything else flow in around it. So get to planning and check out your astrology to help you along the way. Thanks for hanging with me. Until next time, I hope that you have an enchanted rest of your day. If you liked this episode of the Expedition to Soul podcast, please rate, review, subscribe. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, it will really help us spread everyday magic, intention, and intuition to the masses and helps us so much as a small business. Be sure to hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcasting platform so you never miss an episode. There are new episodes every Tuesday. And as always, thank you so much for listening and being part of the community here at the Sisters Enchanted. And we'll see you in the next episode.